We've seen the grand strategies and the brutal realities of World War II. But beyond the famous generals and presidents, who were the everyday heroes whose unique skills and unwavering bravery turned the tide of battle? How did patriotism thrive even in the face of deep-seated discrimination at home? And what happens when science creates a weapon so powerful it can end a world war, but in doing so unleashes a new kind of terror upon the globe? Today, we're meeting the legendary minority units who proved their patriotism in the face of prejudice. We'll stand with the leaders who made the war's toughest decisions, and we'll witness the dawn of the terrifying atomic age. If you believe in honoring the stories of all who served and understanding the events that still shape our world, then answer the call to action. Hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more essential history. The war effort saw immense levels of patriotism and military enlistment across the nation. This included extraordinary contributions from minority groups who overcame persistent segregation and discrimination to serve their country with incredible bravery and distinction. Among the most famous were the Tuskegee Airmen, the first African-American military aviators in the U.S. Armed Forces. They faced a constant battle against racism, serving in a racially segregated environment that questioned their abilities at every turn. Despite these obstacles, their 332nd Fighter Group, known as the Red Tails for their distinctive aircraft markings, achieved an exceptional combat record flying crucial missions over Italy and Central Europe. Their dedication earned them high distinction, including 96 Distinguished Flying Crosses and a Distinguished Unit Citation for destroying 3 advanced German Me-262 jets on a single mission over Berlin. Serving exclusively in the brutal Pacific theater were the Navajo Code Talkers. These soldiers utilized their complex, unwritten native language to create a military code that was absolutely unbreakable. Their ability to transmit sensitive, life-or-death information with unparalleled speed and security was a massive strategic advantage. The impact of the Code Talkers was so critical that Major Howard Connor, a signal officer for the 5th Marine Division, famously stated, "Were it not for the Navajos, the Marines would never have taken Iwo Jima." Even before the U.S. officially entered the war, American patriotism was on display with the Flying Tigers. Officially, the American Volunteer Group, or AVG, this legendary squadron of American volunteer pilots fought for the Republic of China against Japan. Their distinctive shark-faced fighter planes and unorthodox tactics achieved crucial early air victories, providing a rare bright spot of success and a boost to morale during the dark, early days of the war. The massive war effort relied heavily on skilled and decisive leadership at the highest levels. President Franklin D. Roosevelt was the architect of the Allied strategy, managing the initial massive mobilization of the American economy and forging the vital relationship with Allied powers like Great Britain and the Soviet Union. Upon FDR's death in April 1945, President Harry Truman inherited the immense responsibility of commanding a global war. He was immediately faced with the monumental decision of how to conclude the war with Japan, a choice that would change the world forever. On the battlefield, key military leaders executed the grand strategy. General Dwight D. Eisenhower served as the supreme Allied commander in the European theater, orchestrating the D-Day invasion. In the Pacific, General Douglas MacArthur directed the campaigns in the Southwest Pacific, while Admiral Chester W. Nimitz commanded the powerful U.S. Pacific Fleet in the Central Pacific, masterminding the naval war against Japan. The scientific and technological pinnacle of the war was the Manhattan Project, a top-secret U.S. government program. It was established with one primary goal: to develop and build the world's first nuclear weapons, driven by the intense fear that Nazi Germany was pursuing its own atomic capabilities. The project was a massive undertaking, led by the brilliant physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer and overseen with military precision by Major General Leslie Groves. After years of intense, clandestine work involving thousands of the world's top scientists and engineers, the project culminated in the creation of the atomic bomb. In August 1945, President Truman authorized the use of atomic weapons on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He believed this was the fastest way to force Japan's unconditional surrender and, most importantly, prevent a costly, projected invasion of the Japanese home islands that was expected to cost hundreds of thousands of American lives. The successful detonation of these bombs resulted in Japan's surrender, officially ending World War II. However, it also ushered in the terrifying atomic age, a new era defined by the existence of weapons with the power to destroy civilization. The legacy of the Manhattan Project was immediate and profound. While a stunning scientific achievement, it placed an unprecedented ethical responsibility on the presidency and initiated the enduring global problem of nuclear proliferation. The realization that such destructive power existed immediately shifted the global balance of power, setting the inevitable stage for the nuclear arms race that would dominate the Cold War. World War II was won through the immense patriotism and bravery of all Americans, but especially by minority units like the Tuskegee Airmen and Navajo Code Talkers, who fought for a nation that didn't yet grant them full equality. It was guided by leaders who bore the heavy burden of command, and it was ended by a scientific breakthrough that, while securing victory, forever changed the nature of global security. The end of the world's hottest war immediately laid the foundation for the next global conflict, the Cold War. Join us next time as we explore the policy of containment and the opening moves of this new ideological struggle. If these stories of heroism and history matter to you, help us complete our mission by hitting that like button and subscribing. And now for our question for the comments. The Manhattan Project was a triumph of science, but created a terrifying weapon. Do you think President Truman made the right decision to use the atomic bomb? Let us know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious.